Thank you guys. This was great, right? We've been doing a series on it's been Dream the Big UN. And we've done dreaming, we've done relationships, and we have done, Charmaine did giving and receiving for us today. So, in a very fun and spiritual way, today is the proverbial boot out the door. Dream the big U into the unknown. Into the unknown. We've looked and we've talked and we've talked. Today is walk. So I'll try to kind of go through there. So that is the overall version of the overall vibe I'm going for here. Hopefully we can help you out with that. But the unknown. So let's start with the big U. So for me to kind of walk through this mentally, I wanted to go big U, little u, right? So if there's a big U, there's a little u, right? So today, for the essence of this talk, right, we're going to say big U is your divine self, your higher self, your connection with God, your spirituality. That part of you, that personal spiritual essence of you that animates your dreams, that drives you into more. That part. The little u is not big and little, good and bad. It's just for our talk. This little u is what you know, what you've done, the world, your safety, your comfort, your needs, right? And so as we talk through today, if I refer to those things, I want you to go that's where we're going for. The big U, the part that animates your dreams, that spiritual divinity, the individuality that animates the whole thing we're talking about this month. Big U. Little u, work, job, struggle, stress. Those things, which are helpful, good, inherently valuable, but if we separate the two, we tend to either get stuck in one or the other. Okay? So, and then the unknown. So it's awesome that I know two little girls that love the movie Frozen. So this song has literally been stuck in my head all week, and I only know the first line. It's like, into the unknown. So thank you guys, my girls Hazel and Giselle, it's literally been going around in my head all week. So I'm ready to release that one. But into the unknown, and it is corny, and it is we teach our young ones to be brave and to allow these big you to drive in our movies. Disney, we teach that, right? But do we continuate that? So anyway, the song's been stuck in my head, so it's crazy. So what's the unknown? The unknown is going to be your changes. The unknown is obviously not known, so it is hard to define in a general sense. It's like you know your unknown. You personally know your personal unknown because that's where you're being pulled towards. And you may not have the answer of how to do it. So what tends to happen is we get afraid of our unknown, so we don't ever take that first step into exploring it. This just popped in my mind. There are so many artists and musicians that are too afraid, for whatever reason, to put paint on a blank canvas or to pick up a guitar. Do you see what I'm saying? That's that unknown, and it could be major, it could be this crazy wild change, it could be this whole life difference, but it's that thing that we don't know, right? So if we allow our little self to kind of guide us through life, which we do a lot, the little self only knows what it knows. It does not participate in the unknown, right? So it's only going to recreate the same thing that we've already had. So if you have a pattern of behavior or a pattern of anything, more than likely that's your little self, your survival, your safety, your comfort making the decisions. Your brain is logically making decisions because I know if I take 2 steps here, I'm going to end up here, and I feel safe there, right? That's playing in the known. But we inherently have this pull from our spirit, from our big self, to step into the unknown, because you cannot step into the unknown without activating or being participant with your big self. Your little self will never alone set foot into the unknown. Because it cannot. It cannot set foot into the unknown. Because it only knows what it knows. And it functions basis on that. You have to include both. You have to include that spiritual divinity, that uniqueness within you, in order to even step into the unknown. You know, in Frozen, she rips her things off and the ice breaks. But it's corny. It's true. You have to rip your things off. You have to break the ice of the safety and comfort of the logical brain that'll keep you in patterns because whatever the reason is. Okay? So that's kind of the unknown. And it's hard to define it because your unknown is different than mine, right? My unknown may be, here's a good example. We can walk into the grocery store, and I'm like a heavy meat eater, right? And so I walk into the grocery store, I have an experience. What if tomorrow was like, I'm going to be vegetarian? Walking in that same exact grocery store would me be taking a step into the unknown. Do I know how to feed myself without things that aren't vegetables? If I took my big self in there, I'd figure it out. But if I only thought about that, if I was living in that little self, I would never take that step if I was drawn to take that step, right? I'd look at the grocery store and be like, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to go buy meat. Because I can only repeat what I've already done. All right. I think we're good there. So what I'm going to move kind of on to, and we'll kind of keep it just, it's a theme of twos all the way through, and I didn't plan it, but I think, and this is my beliefs, and I really do believe this, but and in order to take a step into the unknown, I do believe you need courage. Courage is one thing you have to have. And I don't think, and I'm going to say this as a truth for myself, you cannot have courage without having faith. You cannot have courage without faith. You cannot be courageous without an idea that there's something greater than yourself. And we believe God, love, harmony, all those things. Even for those that don't believe that, if they're courageous, they are faithful in something. They have faith in their people next to them. They have faith in the teacher. They have faith in the system. Think of all the, if you go to a self-help group or something, one of the very first things they do is they want you to have faith in something. Think about the military. You sign into the military, the very first thing they do, some will say forced or not, whatever, is they create faith in something, whether it's the hierarchy, whether it's freedom, democracy. They create faith in something because they know they are asking people to take a step into the unknown. So they need people in order to do that to find some base of faith so that they can be courageous. Military is one of those where as Americans, or at least me, my American life, I've been programmed to think courage, fighting, right? Because that's the way we've kind of been Americanized, being courageous. But they do it. The military does do that. They say, we're going to need you to be courageous. We don't think you can be courageous without having some sort of base faith. So we will teach you to be faithful in the flag, be faithful in your sergeant, or be faithful in the guy standing next to you. Those are all very common themes. Sports. You guys ever heard the trust the process? You ever heard you do your job, just do your job and trust that the rest of the team is going to do theirs and everything will be fine? It is establishing that basis of faith in order to individually act into things that are going to come up that are the unknown, right? We're not recreating the same thing. So we do that to give the strength for these groups to come together. And to me, those examples made sense. I hope they made sense to you. I'm looking at some blank faces, but I'm just going to be faithful and have courage and keep talking. How about that? But I truly believe you cannot have courage without having faith. And I think if you see somebody that is courageous, you can guarantee that they have some sort of faith system that is very strong within them. And if you see somebody that is not, I can guarantee you they have to work on their faith. And I'm not even going to tell you it needs to be in God. For us, for me, I'm going to assume for you guys it can be in God. And that is the ultimate faith that can lead you to ultimate courage, that can lead you to that spiritual growth that we all want, but sometimes are too afraid to step into. So, also my last thing on faith and courage, you guys realize courage cannot be taught. It can only be inspired. Courage is inspired through faith. It's never taught. You think of being a parent. You don't teach your kid to be courageous. You go, hey, trust me. I got you. What are you doing? You're installing faith into that child so that they can be courageous. And then when they don't do it, if you turn around and try to teach them why they should do it, they don't listen to you. You say, well, we'll get you next time. Right? And you try and you try and try again. But it's never, hey, do this because if you splash in that pool, guess what? The water's going to go over at a 45-degree angle and then all these logical things are going to happen. It's like, jump in because I got you. All right, so I want to read this. So one thing that we can talk about is Jesus here. So I kind of want to set the stage a little bit for this story, but in Jesus' life, to me, as we read through everything and kind of learn the overall essence and being of Jesus, he is, to me, always very centered, very in his known throughout his entire life. Because Jesus knows what he is there to do. It is throughout the teachings and throughout his experiences, he is very much in his known, very centered, lives a different life than we necessarily do over and all. We kind of bounce back and forth. We get confused a lot more, right? Jesus can go into a brand new country, but he always sees his brother. Because his known is so strong of spiritual growth and mastery of matter that is his area of, he doesn't necessarily need to fall back on his courage. Because his known is that way, right? So we're going to take you to the story. This is towards the end. He's gone to see Pilate, and it's right towards the end, like right before the crucifixion, death, burial, resurrection. It's right before that, and he's gone to see Pilate, and Pilate says, get out of the country, dude, start running. Jesus says, I'm not going to run. So right after Jesus says that, he goes off with Peter, James, and John to Gethsemane, and they are, let me find my thing. He's really setting up, and this is a really juicy part of the story for me. I think you can go a million different ways with a bunch of stuff right in here. But he's setting up saying, Peter, James, and John, you guys are going to be my guys, man. This is the pillars of the Christianity. This is my teachings expressed through you guys. That is not the story I want to look at. The story I want to look at is while he does that, he's teaching with them, he walks away to be by himself. He walks away to be by himself, and he's going away to be by himself because he knows what's about to happen, right? And his known of spiritual expression constantly is now turning into unknown because he has to lower himself down in order to experience what's about to come. Here's the words. Then Jesus went 300 cubits toward the east and fell upon his face and prayed, and he said, my God, is there a way by which I may escape the horrors of the coming hours? My human flesh shrinks back, my soul is firm, so not my will, but thine, O God, be done. He went back to check on the other three. They were still asleep. So what did he do? He needed more, so he went back. And he went again and prayed, "O Father God, I must drink. If I must drink this bitter cup, give me the strength of body as I have the strength of soul. For not my will, but thine be done." He goes back. They're still asleep. He goes back again to pray. And then he went again and prayed, "O God, I yield to thee. Thy will be done." This is, to me, a huge testament of faith creating courage. This is the unknown for Jesus. This is the essence of him stepping into the unknown, because he didn't play in that realm of pain, violence, suffering, and he's got to go into that. And he's saying, "God, I got faith in you. If this is the bitter cup I got to drink from, okay, give me the faith, give me the strength." That is courage, right? And I think it is a cool way. Who knew it would be so emotionally charged, right? Who knew? But that, I think, to me, it's a cool way to show Jesus as having to step into the unknown as well. His may be the exact opposite of what we're striving to do. We're good at the suffering and violence, and our unknown is disappearing and healing and loving and harmony. But you see, it doesn't change the difference. That unknown needs courage, right? Okay, thanks for going through that one with me. All right, another like kind of a more metaphysical, maybe a little lighter way to think of, really, I think the same concepts is your heart and your mind. Your heart does not teach. Your heart does not teach. The heart shows you the way. Your mind will teach. Your mind will allow you to function in that realm of known. Your mind, your thoughts will support what your basis already is. If you are a half cup, half empty person, your mind will support that. Right? So in the same sense that to be courageous, you need faith, this stepping into the unknown, by what I just said, really cannot be done mentally, just with mind. It has to have a balance between heart and mind. So your heart is the thing that shows you the way. You don't have teachings from your heart. Because the unknown is not about being taught, it's about being experienced. You can go through your unknown and then turn around and yell at the generation behind you and say, "This is what I learned." But it's not unknown. So I want you, the way I was thinking about this, let's kind of just go with me here. My visualization skills. So for me, if you just take a kind of a second and think of a path, right? Like you were going to physically walk down this path, and this path is unknown. So to me, that represents in the dark, right? Not dark, evil, bad, scary. Dark, I cannot fill in the page. It is unknown. So because I'm being charged and because I'm being driven there by that big me that's asking me to take steps into that, my heart is in front of me, beckoning me, right? My heart is the lighthouse. And my mind is on my other shoulder, telling me, and it's not bad, so don't hear it as bad, telling me why maybe I shouldn't. Or why maybe I can't, right? So if I were to allow my mind just to roll, I'd be like, well, if the first time you step over that root, you're going to twist your ankle and you're going to break your ankle. It's my mind. Remember, we're walking down the path. That's all we're doing. My heart's saying, come on, come on, come on. My mind's saying, wait. You step on that thing, you're going to get hurt. My heart's saying, no. So we got to find the balance between the two. We need both. We need that beckoning. We need that lighthouse. We need that drive. That is our ultimate thing. But we cannot have that alone, because that will turn into longing. We won't ever take this step just based on that. We will look at it and say, oh, that's pretty. So we have to have the balance of both. But if we go just mind, we will look at that and say, oh, that's pretty. I'm so scared of what's right in front of me. I don't know how to get there. I don't see the pebbles to jump. So if we find that balance, we can have the same experience if we're walking forth and say it's a totally black thing and we got our heart out there and then the light just shines on our very first step. And our brain sees it and goes, man, if you step on that, you could get hurt. But I know you like to follow your heart, so try not to get hurt. But step. That's courage. It's not the full length. It's being able to take that first step out into the dark. First step out of the door. When you don't know what the second step looks like. The little self knows what every step looks like on the way because it's either been told to them or they're going to copy or they've already experienced it. The big self stands at the end and beckons you, come on. Together they can make the journey. Separate they will not. If you have the big self without the little self, without the thoughts, without the experiences to learn from and motivate yourself to take that first step, you will have longing. You will have regret because you never stepped out. It turns into depression. People get old and say, man, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I put the paint on the blank canvas one time? Because I thought it'd be bad. Who cares? Probably is bad. But not for you. It's not for you. So that balance of that heart and the mind through in order to take the steps when the steps are unknown, I think that is one of the, we say it's easy, we're all nodding our heads, yeah. It's tough. It's hard. We do that. It's hard to do that. And I think if we remember that faith gives us courage, we can always have a spot of centered, we can always have a base to operate from of my faith will allow me the courage to take the first step. I'm not going to neglect what I know, but I'm going to take action to my heart. And that'll allow you to run through. Don't throw away everything you know and call it dumb. It's not. It's there for a reason. Don't say, oh, that's a pipe dream, never follow your heart. It's all balance and it all goes. So then we look at heart health, right? Everybody's worried about their heart health. But we got to feed it. We got to feed things that allow us to strengthen the ability to be drawn towards the unknown. If we don't do that, we won't strengthen that muscle. We don't allow that ability to have the inspiration. So I would say feed things that feed your heart. And your heart's going to be fed by love. It's going to be fed by harmony. It's going to be fed by those things that you know are good for you. And then those open the door for the opportunities to be called. And not in a service calling. In a calling from your spirit, because you're now opening the veil, you're opening the doors of that spiritual essence in which you were trying to be driven. And you're kind of shedding a little bit of the mental crap that you've been told. And it's not bad, you're just allowing those holes to poke through so that your unknown can be something that can be enjoyed and not feared. So that the unknown the next time can be something that is awesome and you look forward to. You know, it's that practice. It's the exercise. It's the all of it. You gotta exercise that heart. And then you gotta exercise your mind too. That mind. If you're a cup half empty person, don't expect your heart to lead you to a cup that's full. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? You have to try to work on all of it. And then we just look at a couple ideas, like we have this idea, and maybe it's just in my world. I know it's not an idea that I'm like super worried about, but I know many generations have been. But like we have this idea that we have responsibilities to provide money, wealth, generational type wealth, right? You talk to anybody that is getting up there or close to transition or whatever, if you have an honest conversation, sometimes they feel bad. They're not leaving you enough, right? I ain't got nothing for you. You know, well, I hope it's enough. Both of my grandparents said that to me. I hope it's enough. I said, it's enough. Who cares? But if we look at the importance and the way we do that, we try to create generational wealth by us making money. What if we tried to create generational dreaming health? How would we do that? By us dreaming. You don't teach dreams. You don't teach faith. You don't teach courage. You inspire. The only way to inspire is to go do it. And when those little kids are looking up to you, they go, wow, that inspires me. They don't say, man, you told me 100 times. I'm really listening to you this time. They ignore you. But we worry about generational wealth. Let's worry about generational ability to dream. Because that's what's going to change us individually. It's a crazy thing. We have to change individually for the group to change. The group will change us back individually. And it will be generational. It will be what has not been. But if we allow ourselves to step into the unknown more often, we create the pattern of stepping into the unknown. We take it out of Disney and we make it worldly. Let's think of the power in that. Right? So, I'm going to go do something unknown today. I don't know what it's going to be, but when it comes up, I'm going to just do it. I hope you guys find the ability to do that in some way as well. And I really do believe in my heart of hearts that we, as a group, our actions and our ability to exercise our spirituality is not just for us, and it will be reverberated through time. So have fun on that. That's cool. Let's go with it. Let's put your feet on your floor, get comfortable. Let's take a deep breath in. I want you to kind of hold your deep breath at the top, and then as you breathe out, just release what is known to you. So deep breath in. And as you release what's known. Just the idea of knowing, of having an answer. And then on your next deep breath in, I want you to breathe in the idea of the unknown. And breathe it in. And when you breathe it in, feel it physically go into your lungs and fill your chest. And try to feel it color your cells. The unknown. Now as we breathe throughout, I want you to think and visualize those cells being colored by that unknown. And allow it to be. And in this space of allowing the unknown to fulfill our physical body, I want you to feel a connection to the divine. Feel a connection, no matter where it comes in, what it looks like. Feel your divine connection. And then I want you to breathe in the unknown and have it connect with that divine connection physically so that you are the vessel in between. Breathe in your unknown and have it go divine. You are the mechanism that provides the flow. And notice if you're open to it or if you're closed off to the flow. When you breathe in, does it sputter? Does it flow freely? Does it change colors? And then I want you to take the divine and imagine the energy from your divine connection flowing down through you into your unknown. And allow that divinity to charge the unknown, the particles of your body that have accepted the unknown, the idea of your unknown. Whatever that may be, just allow divinity to color it and change it and charge it. Focus on how that makes you feel. Is it easy? Does it flow? Are there hiccups? Does it go through your throat? Does it go through your heart? We are vessels of divinity on earth. We seek balance between our heart and our mind, and we ask that God flow through us so that we have the courage to continue to take steps in our spiritual growth. And we are grateful that we allow ourselves to participate in the foundational growth of our brotherhood. We thank you for the divine connection. Allow it to fade away. You guys can always go back to it. You and only you know your divine connection. And then we enjoy and be grateful for the unknown that has colored ourselves, that has allowed us to include it into our being. And then we calm down. Focus on your breathing one more time. And then we go in one time. And when you breathe in your life that you know right now in front of you, and breathe in the love that you feel for the people around you. And breathe in that goodness, that faith. And then when you breathe out, I want you to breathe out courage. That resolve to take the step. I am ready. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes. So thank you. But thank you guys. And seriously, awesome. Enjoy the week. I'm sure it'll come up. And I'm right there with you. Let's step out. Take that first step, right?
Exactly. There you go.